Thailand is known as the Land of Smiles, but it's also known as the Land of the Ladyboys. Compared to other countries like the Philippines or Malaysia, Thailand has a long history and has probably the largest population of ladyboys in the world. Actually, the word ladyboy is the English translation for Kathoey, a Thai word for transgender women or effeminate gay men. In this video, we delve into the ladyboy phenomenon in Thailand and discuss a little bit of its history. If this is your first time on the channel, or you have returned and like the content, then can I ask you to please like, share and subscribe. It really does help me and the channel. Oh yeah, don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss out on upcoming videos. And if you are interested in some cool links, then check them out in the description box below. Or are you looking for some merchandise, t-shirts, etc.? Then visit my store and check out what I've got to offer. Okay, let's start the video. Please comment below and join the conversation. The transgender community in Thailand is thriving and strong, as it welcomes trans people when they are often ostracized in other parts of the world. Here is a brief look into their history. What is a ladyboy? Ladyboys are men who choose to have a feminine appearance. Some are transvestites who simply get pleasure from dressing as the opposite sex, while others are transitioning to female and identify as a woman transgender. According to a report on being LGBT in Asia, Thais started to identify what is now known as transgender as early as the 14th century. But Western influences and ideas, such as the criminalisation of homosexuality, made their way into Thailand during the 19th century. It was not until after World War II that the LGBT community really started to become visible in Thailand. Bangkok is the epicenter of the Thai gay and transgender community. Those who identify as trans can live in public and live honest lives in Thailand, something they might not be able to do in other parts of the world. That said, prejudices still exist here, and the country fails to support this community by withholding some very basic human rights. For example, homosexuality was not decriminalised until 1956, and laws do not acknowledge sexual orientation or those who identify as a gender different from their sex. In 2007, a call for sexual identities to be included in the Constitution's anti-discrimination clause was rejected. Those who identify as transgender cannot legally change their gender on different identification forms. With the legal landscape as it is, why are there so many transgenders and gays in Thailand? While the gay community in Bangkok is considerable, it largely consists of people relocating to the capital from rural Thailand, which still lacks acceptance. To tourists and visitors, it may seem as if there are many who identify as LGBT in Thailand, but this is not the case in more remote areas where LGBT communities hardly exist. This is especially difficult for Thais whose families do not understand or accept their identity. Religion plays a key role in this community's acceptance or lack thereof as well. Many Buddhists believe that transgenders must be paying for their wrongdoings in their past lives. That said, the capital is very tolerant. Entire city streets dedicated to the transgender community and ladyboy shows are a top attraction for visitors who have several venues to choose from. Thailand has made strides in passing laws that support this community rather than oppress it. The Gender Equality Act was enacted in September 2015. These are small steps towards improving the lives of the LGBT community here. Here are some interesting things you may not know about Thailand ladyboys. Thailand is home to the highest rate of transsexuals anywhere in the world. It is said the numbers range from about 10,000 to unofficial maybe 300,000. Substantially above that estimated for transgender in most other parts of the world. Thai Buddhism helps to explain the lives of transsexuals in Thailand. The first Buddhist scriptures mention 3 genders, a man, a woman and a Kathoey. So, religion officially allows for the third gender to exist. Another theory explaining a Kathoey is the result of karma. In particular, one was born Kathoey as a consequence of some sexual misdemeanor in an earlier life. Kathoey acceptance in society depends on the area in which they live. In the bigger cities, it is more normalised to be Kathoey. In more rural villages, treatment of Kathoey is described as tolerance rather than acceptance. Miss Tiffany's Universe is a beauty pageant for Thai transgender women in Pattaya, Thailand. The Miss Tiffany's Universe contest is held once a year, is receiving more attention every year, especially since it's broadcast live on Thai television with an average of 15 million viewers. Lady Gaga gained her inspiration for her stage name from cabaret and drag shows in Thailand. These cabaret shows include elaborate song and dance routines with elegant costuming. They work as normal Thai people. The lifestyle of the Kathoey varies as well. Mostly though, the Kathoey live like other Thai people. They work as hairdressers, filmmakers, sex workers, waitresses, models and other jobs that you would find any woman doing. They have romantic relationships and are allowed to marry. Kathoeys in Thailand have easy access to hormones and surgery. Many dress as women and undergo a wide range of feminising medical procedures, such as breast implants, hormones, silicone injections, or Adam's apple reductions. That's why a Kathoey may be hard to distinguish from a woman to the unsuspecting. Once a young boy has become discontented about his gender identity, he finds that modern Thai society opens for him with a clear developmental path. On one hand, media personalities, TG actresses, singers, models, beauty queens all provide role models to aim for. A word here about the economics of transitioning to a ladyboy. For example, a nose operation can cost from $240 US. Sex reassignment surgery can cost from $950 US. To save that money, one needs a job while salaries are low in Thailand. The costs of surgery therefore act to draw the Kathoey to the cabarets and bars for work. The cabarets are often unobjectionable spectacles of dance, music and costumes for tourists. While the salaries are small, much more can be earned from tips given by tourists taking photos. The bars, on the other hand, provide a vehicle for prostitution. Both provide a way of earning the kind of money that makes surgery possible. Like many countries, Thailand's military has conscription by the way of a lottery. In draft day, all men over 21, even those who no longer consider themselves to be male, are required to attend the conscription lottery once. In practice, Kathoey ladyboys are almost always exempted from military service, but they are still required to attend the lottery. Thai law forbids people changing their gender on national identification documents, so all trans women remain officially recognised as male. As far as the Thai government is concerned, male to female transsexuals are legally men. Transsexuals cannot legally change their gender on their ID cards. Transsexuals' birth gender must remain the same on their passports as well, a fact which can lead to confusion and unwanted scrutiny at border crossings and immigration checkpoints. It is important to note that identifying as Kathoey, like other trans identities, is not dependent on the state of the body. Some Kathoey undergo hormone therapies and gender confirmation surgeries, others do not. So, there you have it, a bit of information about the Ladyboy community in Thailand. Their choices are open to ridicule, judgment and discrimination, but at the end of the day, they are human and only want to be true to themselves.